Hi, I'm Mari Summers, and I'm doing guest episodes for the Building an Indie Business podcast. And I am joined here with Los. He is an amazing developer, and you may have seen him on the news with his own app, Flirt with Fleurs. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself because I think you are so cool, and hopefully I hyped you up enough. So go ahead and tell us about who you are, what you're doing as a developer, all that.
Hell yeah, thank you. So that was an awesome introduction. My name's Los. I'm a software engineer, but I'm also a founder, and I also find the things I make to be very funny, and a lot of people find them to be funny as well. So I consider myself a viral product engineer. Uh, the app that everybody knows me for is an app that I made where it's a dating app, but the only person you can date is me. It was one of 8 apps that I released on the App Store last year. I work full time at a startup, but I am most excited about changing the way that we see building software, enabling everyone to be builders, and uh, my philosophy was more to view uh, app building and releasing almost like dropping mixtapes. Like, what are these like ephemeral experiences and ideas that fit in with the current time, the current culture uh, that people are looking for and that feel different and exciting, and like iterating to those experiences really quickly. And I think the world is starting to completely, the old world is dying and the new world is being born. And it starts here.
Yeah, that's really exciting. So, can you elaborate upon where you said you want app building to be an experience for everyone? Like, what kind of inspired that? And what are some key things that you've learned in building viral products?
Yeah, I think like what that was for me is number one, just like my personality, like there is a cap to how much fun I can have alone, like by myself. But the second I can bring other people into it, that's when it becomes like the best, like the most fun of my life. So um, that's really where I that's really where I began to like want all of my friends to be building apps and started to see that happening because I knew how great of an experience it was for me. And my friends in that as well was like changing everything. But like the reason that I started thinking about it that way is because like I knew that I was a talented software engineer, but I also sometimes felt like a rapper, and then other times I also felt like a comedian. And I had these things that I wanted to work on, and I felt that I was having too much discussion before like pursuing an idea that uh, discussion on what if this happens, what if that, like, should I actually go ahead and build this or not? And like the main thing behind that conversation is because it was going to take me time to build this app, and not really many resources. I already got that part down. Like, I pretty much don't spend any money making apps anymore. Um, but it was going to take time. And I felt that, 90% of the time, no matter what you build, like the chance of it working is like very, very thin. Uh, and, all these ideas should be able to have a shot. So, um, I decided I no longer wanted to like actually just spend time thinking about like should I build something and just making it way easier to build. And then that's how like that pretty much opened up for Val product engineering, right? Like if it took you like a freaking like week to make a tweet, like the pace you would need like to get like a viral one is like it's completely different, right? That's sort of like the state of app building right now. But I was like, pretty much built my own system that made it insanely easy for me to build any app where like out of box it would have onboarding, it would have friends, it would have settings, all these like boilerplate things that people spend time working on for every new app. It pretty much came out of the box with any new idea I had. So all I did was work on the one page. There was, as a philosophy, there were no more than one page on the app to keep it consistent, to keep it like manageable for a quick shot. And, you know, I was able to build apps in like 9 minutes, like at certain points last year, and then get them on the App Store like in a few days. So then you are just like, you know, uh, you're sort of like entering the territory of like you can truly become like the fastest like iterating person alive. So I was able to, by the time I released, 7 apps last year, and Flirt with Los was the last one, there was no discussion in my head as to should I spend time building this because it was so easy. It was just another shot. And yeah, I think I built it in like 2 hours, got into the App Store, and yeah, I mean, if that is where I see the path for like this is like the worst. If things move linearly, which they won't, but for the sake of the point, like this is like the worst AI will be. Uh, Everyone will be enabled to be able to make apps just by typing in a prompt, right?
Hmm.
So that's where you know the only thing that's a bit different there between apps and music is there's a little bit of a different of there's a question on like self-expression. Like apps still have to be have some type of utility or to actually provide something unique to that person. But beyond that, like everyone's going to be like taking shots, taking these ideas and throwing them out there. And that's when, right now, the entire world is like, uh, there when it comes to business and app building, it's just like the social network right now. Like that's their mindset, and you know that's why ideas are valued so highly by like mainstreamers. And the second the second that you actually build something and release it, you're like, oh, like this idea, it doesn't even sometimes it doesn't even matter the idea. Like the idea for the distribution model may be more valuable than the app idea itself. So once everyone can like start building an app just by writing a sentence, the whole world is going to transition into understanding what people had to learn when they everyone could have Instagram and make content where it's like, oh, okay, it's not actually just the idea; it's the iteration, the execution.
Yeah, I really resonated with a lot of what you said, but what I wanted to know, like, what moved you with your ideas? Because you said you thought yourself as a software engineer some days as a rapper, a comedian. What made you move from like the pre-contemplation phase to the action phase with working with your apps?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think like for the pre-contemplation phase, that definitely existed for my first 2 apps ever. The first one never even got built. The second one got built, but it was, outsourced. I didn't have actual control over the the success of my business, essentially, which is heartbreaking. And it's like a paralyzing feeling that you never want to feel again. So at that point, I was like, okay, I'm never going to uh, uh I'm never going to like not build my own shit again. And then I understood the value of speed and iterating. So that on my third app, that one I built in like a week or something, and I realized that like uh, I was drawing in like a lot of people that really loved it. And just like with anything that you make, it's like one, it's it's only real once it starts colliding with real people, right? And that's the entire thing. I can't work on anything if people are not actively using it or providing feedback on it.
Yeah.
And once you drop it and it's real, and then I noticed people were a lot of people really loved the app, and they loved me as almost a part of it. And everything that you make, it has your thinking in it. Like it has the way you feel, look. It is like weirdly artistic, and it resonates with people how I build things. Like you can see the trajectory of life philosophies through like looking at the design of my first app and the design of Flirt, and how everything got so much more like grittier and simple and to the point, and focused on like something to give someone a reaction almost. And yeah, I think that that is like a transition that I encourage everyone to have, and being themselves, like me understanding that like uh when I released Flirt with Los and I went on Instagram and I saw a bunch of laughing emojis in the comments, that was the first time that I realized it was funny, you know? Like I had no idea. Like I'd worked on the concept and then I built and released it. I knew a lot of people liked it. But then I just read the headline and I was like, this guy made a dating app where you can only date him. And I just started laughing. It was until the article came out, I didn't even realize it was funny, you know? It's just
Yeah.
like it's just so, but that is, inherently me. It's like even like there's a through line through like subconscious where it just ends up being you. So you should embrace that, and I think like that's the next. Uh, my bet is the influencers will die, content creators will die, but like software influencers or app creators is going to submerge. So what's going to win are those people that sort of see themselves as rappers or artists or comedians and can find a way to resonate to people through the medium.
Wow, that was very profound. What you just said, yeah, no, I resonated with a lot of it. How you think of software as an art form and an artistic. It's kind of like I think the way you think about it is the way that NFTs were supposed to be, where like you're mixing art and technology. Like what you said was made more sense. Like to me, resonated with me more than like it's essentially what NFTs are supposed to be. It's art mixed with technology, like a perfect combination. It's a humanistic experience. Like that's what I took from what you said. But it's also
Yeah, thank you.
fun and exciting and it's raw. So because I am only a guest host on the Building an Indie Business podcast, my episodes are only 15 minutes long. So in the next 2 minutes, I'm gonna do my two favorite questions I like to ask. So number one, what is your favorite book?
Oh, uh, my favorite book. I really don't know. I was reading this one that was called Away recently, which is about like uh, this immigrant mother getting deported. It's actually not very funny. But yeah, I'll let you know if I read anything interesting.
Okay, definitely keep me posted with the favorite book. Number two, what is your best advice for upcoming or new software engineers?
This is my best advice for new software engineers. And I would actually like to give my advice to just app builders, right?
Hmm.
Software engineers, want to get good at software engineering. That is, just go ahead and build that thing that you want to, and then just keep making it better. Like you can go along that path. Whatever you build doesn't really need to, it would be great if it collided with real people, but you want to be a good software engineer. Yeah, just keep building. Don't fucking copy and paste from GPT. Use GPT, but rewrite like everything. Surround yourself with people that are uh, talented, but also like at your same level that are trying to figure it out along with build with them. Like, uh, that's the thing, right? But my advice, which I'm more interested in to app builders, is you can do it today. Whatever that idea is in your head that's been marinating that you think is a $1 billion idea, today is the day you can do it.
Amen.
There's nothing that can stop you from testing out, hey, what are people going to think about this if I post it on TikTok? What if I make a website with a website creator and add a waitlist to it, right? All the things that are in your head that are stopping you from doing it are not real. Like you are every single day that that idea exists in your head and it's not even on paper is every more day the hypothetical gets worse and worse and gets more speculative. The worst thing that you can be as an app builder is speculative, is to be hypothetical. You want to deal with the real world. That's the most exciting thing about iterating. You can put something out into the world and it does nothing, and then you put out another thing and the world suddenly jiggles, and then you can watch the direction that it permeates and then look at where it can go next, right? So don't wait to see, oh, I don't know how to code, or I don't know how exactly the app should work, or I gotta wait for the right timing, or I gotta meet the right person. That's all incorrect. Today is the day that you can do it. When I offer people, like, people come to me with their ideas and ask me to build it for them, I say, sounds like a fine idea. Go on TikTok and make a shit ton of TikToks about the idea. Make like a fake design of you using it, build a wait list. If that wait list gets to 1,000 people, like I will go ahead and build it for you. That is the reality of a lot of software engineers that you'll find on Twitter. They don't have the ability to create content. They don't have the ability to understand people, but they have the ability to build, and they might be interested in working with you if you have the ability to bring in users. That is the core thing, right?
Mhm.
And you know, a lot of people, when I provide that to them, then they sort of get stuck because there's no like sort of excuse for them to stop themselves from building it. The answer today is not to make a presentation. It's not to meet someone. It's not to think. It's not even to design. If you're thinking that you have to design the app first, you're shipping too late. The goal is to get it out today. The shittier, the better. And that's when you really get close to what you're really looking for. And you'll find it amazing to be able to create something that resonates with the universe.
Wow, that was really profound what you just said, because that made me think about my own project that I'm working on, which is the Gen Z voter education platform. Because before I even coded
Yes.
it, I made a TikTok about it and I got followers, and then I made the website with the email list, and I said, hey, if you guys want to use it, come up to the email list. Now I don't know if it was a GitHub website, so it has GitHub in the name. So I did get a couple users, but I do have to like keep putting out TikToks. I don't have TikTok on my phone right now because I'm trying to be locked.
W.
I'm trying to be locked. I'm trying to be locked in. But what you said really resonated with me, so I may have to put TikTok back out and then be like, I'm launching a new feature because my plan is to launch features, but I need to get more users and keep building my platform. So you definitely inspired me to put TikTok back on my phone because I did have interested users and there was conversation in the comments about, oh, I would use this program. So that was definitely really inspiring what you just said. And I think that was excellent advice. And I need that framed on my wall. The shittier, the better. Just build.
One last thing, because I think I know we're short, but um I I want to say that like people that are looking to get into app building, they should try to be more like you, actually, like they should be trying to like make TikToks, cultivate an audience, whatever that is. It could be YouTube, freaking LinkedIn at this point. But the goal is what's going to happen next is if you think about how apps are shared, right?
Hmm.
Apps used to be shared by inviting three friends, which is now dead. Apps used to be shared by get me off the wait list, which is now dead. App used to be shared by, hey, share button at the end of this core loop that goes straight to Instagram, like NGL. That is now dead. The entire venture capital and tech ecosystem is trying to figure out how the fuck things grow anymore without spending money, right? And the truth is, like, the incumbent companies are sort of winning. If TikTok gets banned, there will be this year where everyone in every market is trying to figure out how anything grows, even with money, right? But what's going to win are the people like you, because you've created this audience that resonates with you. People are going to, try stuff that you make just because it's you. The next distribution model is the person. Like, I think you are going to be like, you are the archetype of how to acquire people. That's what I'm trying to do for myself right now. It's like the same way that, this is the future of apps. The same way that, like, directors of a movie can release all different types of movies and get like the same people coming back, is the same way we're going to have creators and people coming to try out the new things that they've built. The goal is not going to be like retentive products that people come back to for an entire year. The
Hmm.
people that hit that, those are like gold mines. There's no more Facebook, there's no more Twitter, there will never be even another Be Real. What there will be are those people that understand the audience, that understand the culture and the current timing, almost like a YouTuber, and create something that resonates with them and makes a shit ton of money in like a month, and then they make the next one. You are the distribution model. That is what's next.
Wow. I'm writing that down. You are the distribution model. Wow. There's
You're
another
gassing me
thing
too much.
framed on the wall. Another thing.
Yeah, but I like your TikToks. Like, I'm trying to be more like you, like literally.
Oh my God, I appreciate that because I had a bigger TikTok and I had one that went viral. Well, it got almost 1 million views of me talking about how I scheduled a Peppa the Pig birthday call. But that one, and I had another one that went semi-viral where I got robbed in Miami, and then I was out clubbing. So promoter invited me out, and I said being 22 is hard. And then they were like, and this one woman said, "Oh, well, when I was 22, I was had kids," and I said, "I don't care. I was out last night." Like living my best life. But I have my new TikTok is more tame. So I did have a media company reach out to me. So I've been trying to work on making just more solely tech focused content, but still have pieces of my personality, which is like fun and a little chaotic, like, but still at the same
Yeah,
time
yeah, yeah,
serious, like come out. And I do have a YouTube also, so I guess I can make a YouTube video. It's like honestly for me, it's like I have all these creative ideas, but I feel like you have to be scrappy because right now, like I'm just graduating college. I'm moving to my full-time job. I'm like budget is low. Budget is real low. But
yeah, yeah,
um
exactly.
but it's like but that's not a bad thing. It's like how creative can you be with a non-existent budget?
Right, right, right. I think like that's such a great question. And I think uh, like the reality of it, like especially for someone like you who's actively trying to figure that out in content. Me, I have been trying to figure it out with I figured it out with apps for sure, but I haven't figured it out in like uh growth in marketing. I think it's everyone's question right now. I mean, like ideally, you want the world where like AI tools are actually able to be used to like make up for some of that.
Hmm.
But it's like even like the world for like raising money is like a little dead. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is something I'd be interested in us figuring out together. Honestly, you know.
Yeah, no, that'd be really great because on like I'm actively trying to figure it out because as you said, you are the distribution model built today, but like how because like with video content you can't go shitty with the video content. It's gotta be
Mhm. Yeah,
eye-catchingly appealing, but
yeah,
it's like what can you do to make sure it comes out correctly? It's something I'm definitely working on, but I'm gonna keep building content. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep building the
dude, yeah.
apps.
For us, bro, please.
Yes.
For the
Do you
fans.
do you use Xcode or do you use Xcode for your making your apps?
Yeah, yeah. So I use Xcode, and I used to write in UIKit. I started for the past month and maybe a half. I've been writing in Swift UI actually.
Oh my God, I love
I rebuilt Flirt with Los. Flirt with Los was a UIKit app, and I rebuilt it in Swift UI in a week and a half, pretty much.
The first time I used Xcode, it was was trying to use C Sharp, so I was going to be using it at my job, and I partitioned Visual Studios over to Xcode. And when I got
Whoa,
over to Xcode, I was like, what? And with the UI kit, and it was still in C Sharp, I was like, oh my God, this is like, I want to move over to this. Like, I was
that's
big fan,
insane.
big fan of Xcode
Yep.
partitioning over, because I partitioned Visual Studios over to Xcode. It was cool.
Dude, I didn't even know that was possible. Wow.
I was deep on some Microsoft forms, man. I was deep into the Microsoft forms.
Dude, you're better than me. The second I can only last on those forums for like even like 5 minutes, dude. I'm like,
I love
let
the
me just go text
forms.
someone.
I
Text someone to read it for me. But that's a true mark of a true software engineer, like loving those forums. Like me, I'm like, hey, bro, I'm trying to, I'm only interested if it can like get me to that end goal. But you love the game. I like that.
I do. I love the struggle. I love the game. Yeah, like I'm doing assembly code stuff right now with like really low level, and I'm like, I love the struggle. I love the game. I hit up people on Twitter. I love this. Like the coding community is so supportive.
Dude,
And
yeah.
everyone's open and like wants to help people. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being on the Building an Indie Business podcast. This has been Mari with Los. We give me all your handles where everyone can find you on social media.
Oh shit, sorry. Download those on everything.
Yes. And I hope everyone has a good rest of their day. And remember, you are the distribution model. Build today, and the shittier the better. Until next time. Bye.